Greetings! In this video I'm going to be painting an Intercessor from the Covenant of Fire chapter. This chapter has been my most requested thus far. If you have any suggestions, let me know and I'll add it to the list. The body and pauldrons have been 3D printed, so I can avoid some freehanding and some various markings. Some information about that's in the video description. I do want to get better at freehanding, and this chapter Armour was a bit weird to set up for 3D printing, but I think it's fine for now. Besides printed parts, the arms and bolter are from the Sternguard kit, and the helmet is from the normal Intercessor's kit, which will likely be referred to as the old Intercessor kit once 11th edition drops. After assembly, I primed the model black, and then followed that with an undercoat of grey Seer. This will help me reach the bright base coat faster, and it also means you can use a grey Seer spray can, if you prefer spray can primers. Now onto the painting itself, starting with Trollslayer orange for the armour. This took a few coats, but I did thin it a little too much for certain bits. I left the arms and the helmet, as they'll be painted black later. Now onto the black, using Abaddon black. Again, I thinned this a fair bit, probably more than necessary, but it does come out smoother as a result. The Covenant of Fire paint the arms and helmet black, as well as the left knee behind the tactical marking, so I've done the same here. The undersuit details are also painted in this step. Next, I base coated the leather bits with Rhinox hide. I then switched back to Trollslayer orange to clean up some bits, and to paint in the background for the armorial. Wraithbone followed this, painting in the inner section of the chapter armorial, leaving a bit of orange around the edges. I also painted in the bracelet with this colour. Next was Yriel yellow, painting in the tactical marking, the flame on the chapter armorial, and the ordinal on the right pauldron. Now to highlight the leather, starting with another experimental recipe using Mournfang brown. This was painted over the edges of the belt with a spotty application. I highlighted the belt using Steel Legion Drab, doing tiny dots along the belt. I think this recipe works out nicely. Now onto the eye lenses and wrist lights, starting with a base coat of Mephiston red. Evil Sunz Scarlet followed, painting in the central sections of the red, avoiding the edges. Wild Rider Red was next, doing a smaller section towards where I wanted the highlight in the middle. Then, finally, Lugganath Orange, doing a smaller dot towards the centre of the glow effect. I didn't notice how wonky they were until just now. It's less noticeable in the final result. Now onto the metallic bits, starting with gunmetal grey for all of the steel details, such as the weapon chassis, power pack and helmet details, and the auxiliary power nodules around the armour. Next, I used Exhaust Manifold to paint in the weapon casing. The colour plate shows a slightly bronzed steel for the weapon, when compared to the steel around it, so this colour works well to give that slightly different finish. To highlight all of these silver metallics, I used Dual Aluminium. This was applied along the edges and any of the top sections of flat or cylindrical surfaces. The rivets and power pack details were also highlighted with this. For the gold I used Retributor Armour. I applied this over the pauldron trim, the Imperialis on the torso, the Crux Aquila on the auto bolt rifle, the little skull hanging on the bracelet, and the exposed cartridges in the magazine. Next I went back to Abaddon Black to clean up where I spilled over with the previously applied gold. Now to highlight the black, using Dark Reaper. I applied this as a typical edge highlight, though with a few roughly applied scratches and dots to indicate some wear and tear. The next highlight was done with Fire Dragon Bright, applied along the edges of the orange armour, with some scratches and battle damage applied in seemingly random spots, and also along any bits that I didn't clean up the 3D print properly. They can be battle damage. Next, to emphasise the damage, I used Rhinox hide to fill in the 3D print defects and apply some smaller scratches and cuts, in the areas where I went either too thick with the orange highlight or along the intentionally painted scratches that I did. Painting battle damage like this means you don't need to be as precise with your edge highlights. You can instead use them as a base for your weathering pass. For the final weathering product, I used some Sepia enamel Paneliner from AK Interactive. This was applied fairly densely over the model, knowing I can clean it up later if it's too much. Once dry, this effect darkens the panel lines whilst adding a dirty look, adding to the weathering effect. After a few minutes, it was dry enough for me to notice some spots where it didn't come out how I wanted. It was especially thick over the legs, so I used some thinners on a cotton tip to clean them up a bit. After I had left it to dry for a few hours, I applied my usual basing method, painted the base rim black, then sealed everything in with some ultramatte varnish. And here we have it, an Intercessor from the Covenant of Fire chapter. I really like the orange for this one. It's very rare that you see orange for Space Marine chapters. I also think the weathering came out fairly good as well, especially tying in the 3D printing defects, probably caused from me snapping off a support instead of cutting it off, but it worked out well enough to provide a chunk of battle damage. I'm also happy with the alternate tone for the weapon casing. It came out quite nicely, especially with the enamel over it. It's made the colour fairly close to the colour plate reference. Overall though, I feel like it's missing something. I can't seem to figure it out. Maybe it's something to do with the black, it seems a little flat, but I'm not sure what I could really do there. Like beyond highlighting and layering it up, which would probably result in it being too bright. If you have any suggestions what I should do differently next time I approach something like this, let me know in the comments. If you have any chapter requests as well. I'm approaching the list of suggestions fairly randomly, so even if the chapter you'd like to see isn't well known, it might be done sooner rather than later. But anyway, that's all I've got for this video. I hope you stick around for the next one.